And we are live from the Heartland. Welcome to the Christian Whistleblower channel. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is also the home of the Unindoctrinator podcast. We're coming to you wall to wall, treetop tall, coast to coast, and border to border. And we're ready to rock and roll. And in case anybody wondered, I did kill Epstein. Great shirt from Sam. Triple E tinfoil hat. They go deep over there, homeboy, so check them out. He's a good friend of mine. We appreciate him. You know, it'd be a lot easier for me to do what I do if I didn't do like I did. But if I didn't do like I did, I wouldn't be doing what I'm supposed to do, and then none of us would be happy. So what we're here to do is to unindoctrinate. And unindoctrinate is not just a slogan. It's a way of doing business. And the best things and the things I think most in need of unindoctrination are those things that everybody says, well, everybody knows that. But the problem is, even though things that everybody knows are prime candidates for investigation to see if there needs to be unindoctrination from the same, the problem with everybody that knows, problem with things that everybody knows is that everybody knows them. And everybody is against you because you decide to dare to ask a question about something that everybody knows. Well, guess what? I'm in the asking questions business. And that business is about to be booming, cousins. We're about to launch a full-out assault on assumption. Because as I found, and as I've shown on this channel many times, assumption makes an ass out of you and it makes an ass out of me. Look at the word. We're brought to you as always by Mystech. That's the bracelets I wear. Do you wear them just because they're cool? Yeah, but I also wear them because they keep me in the original human residence of the planet, which is the benefits of that are inestimable. If you understand that if you know we know its frequency, we know its harmony, we know its resonance, but we don't care about those bracelets. All right, that's fine. You know how important it is to keep your blood oxygenated. I got proof videos that oxygenates your blood. We don't care about those magic bracelets. Kills pathogens. We don't care about those magic bracelets. Well, if you don't care about any of that stuff, that's fine. If you do, go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Mystech logo or the Mystech tab, and you get 25% off. But I can't send it to you if you don't give me your name, your phone number, or not your phone number. That would help. Your name, your address, what color you want, and you've got to pay for it. Use the donate now button at jeffreydaugherty.com. So one of those things that everybody knows is that nuclear weapons are real. Nuclear weapons are scary. Nuclear weapons are terrible. Peter James says you can stand on the missile silo in North Dakota. I can, Peter. But how do you know what's in that silo? And how do you know what's in that silo is a nuclear weapon? So I did what I do. I don't just go off half-cocked. I don't just shoot from the hip, although sometimes I do at the shooting range, but not this time. I actually go to facts. I go and I investigate, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to investigate the subject of nuclear weapons. And I'll probably bring in someone that's got a lot more time investigating it than I do sometimes this week or next week. And when you put a comment in the chat room, once is plenty. We don't need to see your chat, your comment 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. This isn't a channel for Christians. Sometimes they need to see it over and over and over and over because they're stupid, but we're not. So put in your question once and then just let it go, because we don't really want to have to remove your comments. I know it hurts your feels, but we don't want you to be distracting from the show either. So I'm going to try to not do that by talking about you. So anyway, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nuclear weapons. I just want to ask some unanswered questions. I want to talk about this because it just doesn't make sense to me. And if you're going to talk about nuclear weapons, I think the best place to start with the discussion about nuclear weapons is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, I'm not sure if it's Hiroshima or Nagasaki, or Hiroshima, but I'm going to go with Hiroshima because when I think of a Japanese person on TV saying it, I think Hiroshima. And I think when I watched, what is it? The guy in the tall castle, what was that called? Man in the High Castle. I think they said Hiroshima. But either way, let's don't get bogged down, Jeff. Sorry, every now and then the weird little OCD thing kicks in. But anyway, the United States of America detonated 2 nuclear weapons on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6th and 9th of 1945, ladies and gentlemen. That they dropped some bombs there, that a horrible destruction was there is beyond question. And let me just say that and make sure you understand. I am not in any way, shape, or form. Oh, and I just did the pyramid, so everybody says I'm satanic. See, the thing you don't understand, you dummies, and here I go get myself in trouble with something that has nothing to do with the subject at hand. Squirrel. But hey, I saw the squirrel and I'm going to chase it. These people that talk about, oh, he does the hand signals, he does the 666, he does the whatever the head is. What you don't understand is that most of the people you're watching on television are what are called professional communicators. And when you're a professional communicator, you learn things. You go to speaking classes, you go to teaching classes, you go to classes about how to speak. And one of the biggest problems with people that aren't real good public speakers is they're all over the place with their hands, and it's very, very distracting. So what they teach you to do as a speaker is, keep your hands all together in an Illuminati symbol, keep your hands, to just, keep it's not Illuminati symbols, you dummies. I'm not saying it's never Illuminati symbols, but every time you see somebody go like this, doesn't mean they're given a 666. But you go ahead and make your stupid videos, and you go ahead and get your dumb, idiotic subscribers, and you guys go ahead and have a big fear porn circle jerk and have a great time. But I'm telling you, it's stupidity, and somebody needs to say it, and that's what we're here for. Hiroshima. Thank you, Karen. And for God's sake, go have a sandwich. The United States detonated 2 nuclear weapons over the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6 and 9. Now let's take a look at the bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Did you know, and I didn't really know until I got into this, that by 1945, the Manhattan Project had produced 2 types of atomic bombs. Well, why did we bomb 2 cities? Well, we wanted to show them that we could do it twice. No, we wanted to test both of the bombs we made. Because they dropped one type on Hiroshima, they dropped another type on Nagasaki. On August 6th, one of the modified B-29 bombers dropped a uranium gun-type bomb on Hiroshima. And this really irritates me, and I don't know if it should, but it just smacks of the dark nature of the deep state and the cabal. You make a bomb that you know is going to kill a bunch of people, and you nickname it Little Boy. I don't know about you, but that bothers me. And then another B-29, not the same one, dropped a plutonium implosion bomb on Nagasaki 3 days later, and they called that one Fat Man. Because if you're going to drop a bomb and kill a bunch of people, you want to make sure it has a cute name. I just find that foul. I find that disgusting. But that's just me. Here's a look at Hiroshima before it was bombed, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, a river city. Looks like a prosperous city. The population of Hiroshima had been at a peak of 381,000 earlier in World War II. But I found this interesting. Prior to the bombing, the population had been steadily decreasing because of a systematic evacuation ordered by the Japanese government. Now, I know we had flown some planes over and dropped some leaflets, we're going to get you. But the inquiring, objective, empirical mind has to say, why were they evacuating their city without real proof that a bomb was coming. That's interesting. Question being, were they in on it? And another question, if you really want to get conspiratorial, there's great evidence that we knew, we being the Americans, that Pearl Harbor was going to be bombed. Why didn't we evacuate Pearl Harbor? Interesting questions, not the focus of this podcast. But at the time of the attack, ladies and gentlemen, the population of Hiroshima was between 340 and 350,000 people. That seems like a wide gap to me. It seems like they could narrow it down. It seems like they're trying to keep it nebulous and not trying to be specific for a reason. That's just my journalistic mind that makes me say that. But at any rate, let's just say it was between 340 and 350,000 people. This is a picture of Hiroshima after the attack. Hiroshima before the attack, after the attack. Before the attack, after the attack. Devastation, no doubt. A lot of people killed, a lot of stuff blown up. So let's look at some of the facts. And these are not opinions. These are not speculations. These are facts. And facts are stubborn things. And some of you Gnostics are going to be really upset that I dared to tell the truth about things that you know it all about. I thought the Christians were whiners. Oh my demiurge. The Gnostics are a bunch of babies, but of course, all they want to do is call names. They don't actually want to step up and debate because they know they're wrong. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Over 4 months, ladies and gentlemen, the effects of the atomic bomb killed between 90,000 and 146,000 people in Hiroshima. Again, 90 and 146,000, that's 50,000 people different. It's intentionally non-specific. And you'll see why as we go through these numbers. And I did use a calculator. I know I'm a Bible college graduate, not a math major, but I know how to use a calculator. And I did it many times to make sure I got the numbers right. And I went out and confirmed them with Cynthia. And that damn Cynthia, I thought I had a scoop. I remember one time I was reading and I found out that who was the first person that ever wrote a detective novel in English literature, U.S. or England. Well, let's make it easy. Who's the first person that ever wrote the first U.S. detective novel? I thought I had my mom on that, dead to rights. My mom knows everything. She taught school for like 30 years, emotionally disabled, learning disturbed. Obviously, you know why she did that. She had a lot of practice at home. But she taught school all those years. I thought I got her. I walked in, Mom, who wrote the first detective novel in the United States? She didn't even look up. She just said Edgar Allan Poe. And I'm like, damn. How the hell do you know it was Edgar Allan Poe? And it was Edgar Allan Poe. And I go out to Cynthia and I'm like, how many people would survive an initial strike? She throws out a number. I'm like, damn. How the hell did she know that? But anyway, about half died on the first day. People continued to die for months from burns, radiation sickness, other injuries. So I ran the numbers. If we take the lowest population and the highest number of deaths, so we're going for a worst case scenario, 340,000 population minus 146,000 deaths equals 194,000 survivors. So even in a worst case scenario at Hiroshima, after 4 months, there's a 57% survival rate of a direct nuclear blast after 4 months by people that never left. That blew my mind. I'm like, whoa, how could that be? But then I looked at the best case scenario, highest number of population, lowest number of casualty estimates. So if there was 350,000 people living in Hiroshima and 90,000 of them died, then that leaves 260,000 survivors. That's a 74% survival rate from a direct nuclear blast after 4 months. That blew my mind. Cynthia's like, oh, like 75%. I'm like, damn it. How did she know that? I don't know. Well, it's obvious how smart she is. She's with me. Anyway, if we average that, we take the high, we take the low, we take the high, we take the low. The average is the average is a 66%. Interesting number. 66% survival rate after 4 months of a nuclear blast. Somebody said, but those were low-yielding nukes. They're nukes. We'll get into it. 66% survival rate after 4 months. Day 1 survival rate. What are we taught? Mushroom cloud, which I think looks like a cross. Cynthia says no. But mushroom cloud, just bend over and kiss your ass goodbye because you're done. It's over. Facts? Day 1 survival rate of a point blank nuclear blast in your city between 79 and 87%. The average survival rate based on Hiroshima of a direct hit nuclear blast is 83% day 1. 83% of people survive a direct hit first strike nuclear blast. These are the facts. These are the numbers, and the numbers don't care what you think. The numbers don't care about your feels. My mind's blown. Even Miss Smarty Pants, blonde, cute Smarty Pants, her mind was blown because she's picked 75 and it's really 83%. And I see the cognitive dissonance is kicking in the chat room. I love it. And I think I do love provoking people. I do. Because there's only 2 ways you're going to get anybody who thinks they know it all to open their mind. Number 1 is to give them really there's only one way. You got to slap a bitch. You either have to rhetorically slap them or really slap them in order to get their attention. And I got to admit it, I like slapping bitches. I really do. And I like to see them react. I like to see the look in their face when I slap a bitch. So anyway, there we go. Hiroshima. You're going to want to run that back. Nagasaki. The day before the Nagasaki strike, the population of Nagasaki was 263,000 people. Yeah, not real. Just a namaste forearm, a namaste elbow, a little namaste jab, right cross, little namaste. I never punch in the face because you'll break your hands. Little namaste, chop chop. Just namaste because I love you. 263,000 people the day that the bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. That's Nagasaki after. Nagasaki before, Nagasaki after. Devastation, right? 35,000 people were killed in the blast. The estimations of 4-month deaths were between 39,000 and 80. Again, 39 and 80? It's intentionally non-specific. It's intentionally nebulous. It's designed to make us not know. And because the way they look at this, ladies and gentlemen, the way that they train us, if they say between 90 and 146,000 people died, CNN's going to report 146,000. Fox News is going to report 146,000. Fucking Nutty Otter's going to report 146,000. Because they're fear pointers. Because we're trained to be circle jerk fear pointers. We all want in on the circle jerk. And we all want it to be as scary as possible. So they say 90, but and 146, they want us to believe the worst. But they want to tell us it's the best. Same thing over here in Nagasaki. Somewhere between 39,000 and 80,000 died. Let's run our numbers again. 263,000 survival, 35,000 dead, 87% first strike survival. 70 to 85% 4-month survival rate. The average survival rate of having a nuclear bomb dropped on your head, metaphorically, 78%. 78% in Nagasaki, 83% in Hiroshima. Can I wear a t-shirt that says slap a bitch? Probably not. 83% survival rate after 4 months in Hiroshima. 78% survival rate after 4 months in Nagasaki. Let's average that. And for you Christians, to get an average, you take the two numbers, in this case 78 plus 83, and you can use a calculator. I know you only have 10 fingers and that ruins your math, but you Christians, take 78 plus 83, add it up. You get 161, and then you divide it by 2. That's this many. And you get the answer, which is 80.5%. So the facts show that the only 2 times a nuclear weapon has ever been detonated, 80% of the people survived. 80% of the people survived the scariest thing there is. 80% of the people survived the most horrible thing there is. 80% survived, ladies and gentlemen. Can we just talk person to person for a minute? How long have we've had children hiding under their school desks since the 40s, scared about nuclear bombs? We got people building bomb shelters and bomb cellars, and those could end up being useful. Great place to go have like nasty sex. But anyway, the scariest thing in the whole world, 80% of the people survive. I want to look on the good side. If the worst thing they can give us is nuclear war, and 80% of us would survive it, see, that's the thing with fear porn. Just like real porn doesn't satisfy you. Real porn is empty. So's fear porn. It's not true, ladies and gentlemen. It's not true, ladies and gentlemen. Not laughing about that, laughing about sex references in the chat room. You people are so dirty. 80%. Yeah, it is you people. Can we look at something else? Can we look at something else? Can we look at a place called Dresden, Germany, where I've been? Let's look at Dresden, Germany. Dresden, Germany was not hit by atomic bombs. Dresden, Germany was attacked by conventional militia. What's the word I'm looking for? Conventional military stuff. That's not the word I'm looking for. Conventional weaponry. Thank you. Peter James said at his school, you waited for the bus or prepared for nukes in the same hallway. Well, in 4 raids between February 13 and 15, 1945, the British Royal Air Force and the United States Army Air Force dropped high explosive bombs and incendiary devices on, thank you so much, Brian, conventional explosives. Dropped conventional explosives on Dresden, Germany. This conventional ordnance, even better. Thank you, Shadow. This is what Dresden looked like before the bombing. Dresden looked like this before the bombing. This is what Dresden looked like after the bombing. The population at the time of the bombing was about 350,000 people. About 135,000 were killed, and that number is subject to lots and lots and lots of debate. Some numbers say 25,000, some numbers say 225,000. I should have asked the Rods, but I just tried to take the norm. I think a lot more were killed, but we're going to go with 135,000. We're going to go with 135,000, ladies and gentlemen. $350,000 people, 135,000 killed. That's a 39% death rate and a 61% survival rate at the use of conventional munitions in Dresden, Germany. Do these numbers seem odd to you? And these numbers are averaged. And remember, Christians, I show you how to get an average. In Hiroshima, nuclear attack, 83% of the people survived the blast. In Dresden, conventional attack, 61% of the people survived the attack. In Nagasaki, 87% of the people survived the attack. In Dresden, 61% of the people survived the attack. Oh, I'm not sharing this. It's important that I share. We all know we're supposed to share. My mom taught me to share. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hiroshima, 83% survival. Nagasaki, 80% survival of the first blast. Dresden, 61% survival. That seems odd to me. Well, Jeff, the atomic bomb and all the nuclear winter and all, we'll get to that. Well, after 4 months, 66% survival rate. 66% survival rate at Hiroshima. 78% survival rate at Nagasaki, and still 61% survival rate at Dresden. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were nuclear strikes. Dresden was a conventional strike. Yet 83, 87 survived first blast, only 61 in Dresden. 66, 78 at 4 months, only 61 in Dresden. If that doesn't look odd to you, then you've lost the ability to objectively think. So what they're telling us, and Viking Explorer, thank you for being a great illustration of fear porn. I appreciate you making fear porn and illustrating it very, very powerfully in the chat room so I don't have to do it. It's perfect. Thank you. So they're telling us that you're 22 to 26% likelier to survive a nuclear strike than to survive a conventional one. But what are we afraid of? Nuclear bombs. Their own numbers tell us that we're 5 to 17% likelier to survive a nuclear strike than a conventional one, even after 4 months. But what are we afraid of? Nuclear bombs. Oh, my demiurge. Nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs. This one really got me right here. And before we go to that, let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that one of the reasons I can remain calm, cool, and collected at all times is because I live and move and have my being, for you Christians, in the focused life force energy environment. Maybe it'd be easier for you to get out of your cognitive dissonance if you got some fluffy and up your ass. I mean, on, not up, just like on you. Sorry. Maybe your confirmation bias would be easier to defeat if you got some fluffy around you. Don't you want to feel fluffy? Focus Life Force Energy. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com. Click on the Focus Life Force Energy logo. No one's ever been abducted by an alien while in a Focus Life Force Energy environment. I want you to know that. And no one's ever caught the coronavirus while being in a Focus Life Force Energy environment. Just thought you might want to know. So, time to rebuild. How long did it take Hiroshima to rebuild after the devastation of nuclear weapons? 2 years. How long did it take Nagasaki to recover after the devastation of nuclear weapons? 2 years. How long did it take Dresden to recover from the devastation of conventional weapons? 60 years. Why is it far easier to recover from nuclear devastation than to recover from conventional weaponry devastation? These are questions that demand answers. But most of you are afraid to even ask the question. Something doesn't add up with nuclear weapons, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of some things don't add up. And here's just a little factoid. I'm sure it has nothing to do. One has nothing to do with the other. Look away. Keep moving. Nothing to see here. The United States of America has spent at least $10 trillion on nuclear weapons. Think of that. The United States of America has spent at least $10 trillion on nuclear weapons. As bad as our current budget deficit is here in the United States of America, our current deficit is less than 1 trillion. Less than 1 trillion. So they've spent 10 trillion on nuclear weapons that are field proven not to be as effective as the conventional ones that cost a whole lot less, yet they're still spending 10 trillion on nuclear weapons. And how many trillions have been spent on propaganda, fear porn to keep us afraid of nuclear weapons and the horrors? How many times have you heard about nuclear winter? Nuclear winter, right? Nuclear winter. You know how terrible it is in nuclear winter, right? Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. What if we didn't spend the 10 trillion on the nuclear weapons? We'd have never had a budget deficit. Where's the $10 trillion gone? At the very least, it's a gross misuse of money when conventional weaponry in the field, I don't care what you think, what you believe, what your computer simulations are, I deal with real fact. And the real facts show in real battlefield conditions that nuclear weapons are far less efficient at killing people and breaking things, which is what the military does. I was in there for 7 years. How long were you in there? How about that then? We spent 10 trillion on things that have proven in actual battle to be less effective at killing people and breaking things than conventional weaponries, which are a whole lot cheaper. Why? You got to learn to ask yourself why. This is what being a truther is. Asking yourself why. Why? You are not a real truther unless you can get to the place. You are not a real truther until you get to the place where you say, wait a second, this shit don't work as good as that shit, but they want to spend 10 trillion on that shit when we can have this shit for a lot less. Where'd the money go? I wish I could do this like Glenn Beck. Where'd the money go? I don't know. Did you take it? Where'd the money go? I can't do it like Glenn Beck. Wish I could do it like Colin Coward. Where'd the money go? Where'd it go? I don't know. But we might think of spending it differently in the future. I just got to do it like I do. Where'd the money go? And do you think it might be possible that they know that this nuclear shit doesn't work as good as the conventional shit, but they want you to be scared of the nuclear shit so they can take $10 trillion of your money? Remember, it's your money and my money. The government doesn't make money they print it on printing presses, but the government does not produce revenue. The way the government produces revenue is like a crook produces revenue, pointing guns at you and taking yours. It's like, who knew? I know Tom Cruise has all the answers. Show me the money. Could it possibly be that the nuclear weapons are a fear porn scare tactic to give them a great cover for stealing $10 trillion of our money? Where's the money? Why the hype and fear? Because the hype and fear is necessary for you to still let them take the money. And the hype and fear is necessary so you don't ask where the money is. Jeff, are you saying that nuclear weapons aren't real? I'm saying that the facts show that in battlefield conditions, nuclear weapons are shitty compared to conventional weapons. And if you're the military, you got two jobs. You only got two jobs. Kill people, break things. And if your two jobs are to kill people and break things, then you want the things that kill people fastest and break things the bestest. It's easy. What's your job? Oh, I kill people and break things. Do you want the thing that kills more people and breaks more things, or the thing that kills less people and breaks less things? Oh, give me the one that kills more and breaks more. Why do they use the one that doesn't work as good as the other one? Because it costs a lot more. And they can steal more of your money, and it's really, really scary, and they keep you afraid of it. Do you know Godzilla came from nuclear weapons? It never ends. The X-Men came from nuclear weapons. It never ends. If you're a real truther, you will know you're a real truther. You will know you're a real truther. You'll know you're a real investigator. You'll know you're a real journalist when you start asking, but why do they want to use something less effective? And where'd the money go? Then you are actually becoming a real journalist. Then you're becoming a real journalist when you begin to ask those questions. Until then, you're just a fear porner. And then I asked myself some other questions. Why are nuclear facilities so highly protected? Why are nuclear facilities so highly protected? So highly protected, heavily guarded, heavily fortified. The shirt says, I killed Epstein. Why are they so highly protected? Somebody says, because it's a hoax. You might be right, Antonio. But what if there's something more sinister and deadly and nefarious going on than nuclear weapons? Tracy Dyer, it's like Area 51. Why is that so highly protected? Maybe there's stuff going on there that they don't want us to know about. Child trafficking? Child abuse? Why are they so typically remonte? That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say remote. Why are they so, you don't see an end there? There's no end. Look, don't look at the end. Look. Why are they so typically whoops? Why are they typically so remote? Why do aliens always hang out by the nuclear weapons? Jeff, are you saying that aliens, the idea of extraterrestrials, could be tied to dark state child trafficking and abuse? You bet your damn sweet bippy I'm suggesting that. I'm suggesting that the ET agenda may be formulated to assist the deep, dark, blood magic control state in their efforts of child abuse, child sacrifice, and child raping. But what about nuclear winter? How many movies have you seen about nuclear winter? What was the last one where John Candy, was it John Candy? No, he's dead. The other guy that reminds me of John Candy, John Goodman, he's in the silo. And they can't go out because a nuclear bomb went off. Not even right there, but a nuclear bomb went off a little ways away. But they can't go out of you can't go out of the silo because of nuclear winter. People never moved out of Hiroshima. People never moved out of Nagasaki. But what about nuclear winter? You can't live. Oh my God, you die. It's all over. What about the nuclear zombies? Nuclear winter, global warming. There's no nuclear winter. Did Jeff, the studies show, the computers show? Excuse me. When we have proof, why do we need a computer model? You don't have to speculate. You don't have to run a simulation. You don't have to develop an algorithm. You don't have to write any code. Look at what happened. They blew one up in Hiroshima. Did they get nuclear winter? Yes or no? Did people stay in Hiroshima and never leave? Yes or no? Did they have nuclear winter in Nagasaki? Yes or no? Did people continue to live in Nagasaki? Yes or no? Did people stay in their shelters in Hiroshima? Did people stay in their shelters in Nagasaki? But oh my God, the death, the destruction from a nuclear bomb. And oh my God, the death and destruction from nuclear winter and nuclear fallout. And you can't survive. You can't live. You might as well just kill yourself now. Questions that demand some damn answers. Questions that demand some damn answers. Oh, shoot. I didn't show you these. I want to show you these so they'll stick in your head. I got a little emotional. I want these to stick in your head. Questions that demand some damn answers. And while we're here, I shouldn't, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to subject you to that. I'll show you this, but I'll show it to you the right way. These questions, ladies and gentlemen, have to be answered. I know these facts are inconvenient, but they have to be addressed, ladies and gentlemen. These have to be addressed. And you have to find answers. You have to insist upon answers. And you're not even closely, remotely a truther until you do. The survival rate in Hiroshima after a direct strike nuclear weapon, 83% survival rate on the direct blast, 66% survival rate even 4 months after. Nuclear winter and nuclear zombies. Oh, my demiurge. Nagasaki, ladies and gentlemen. Whoops. 39%. Oh, that's Dresden. Nagasaki. Come on, Jeff. Geez, you're making us go crazy. Oh, okay, I got it. God damn it. Now somebody's going to unsubscribe. Bottom line, no, I want to show you this. Nagasaki, 87% survived the first strike, 78% survive at 4 months. Conventional warfare, Dresden, 61% survive. You're 22 to 26% likelier to survive a nuclear strike than a conventional one. And you're 5 to 17% likelier to survive a nuclear strike than a conventional one up to 4 months later. Anyone care to explain that? Isn't it time we started asking some questions? Isn't it time we started questioning some answers? That's what we're here to do. Ask questions and question answers, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you unindoctrinate yourself. And that's why I'm the Christian whistleblower. That's why I'm the unindoctrinator. And that's why you're here, because we ask those kind of questions and we're not afraid to do so. Now, if you got to run, I understand. I've been rambling on for 46 minutes on what is a fairly important subject. We will look at your comments now, ladies and gentlemen, at least the ones I can get back to. This only goes back to Javanka saying there's nothing to see. Yep, just move along. There's nothing to see. Tracy says it's like Area 51, going to our postulation of nuclear weapons tied to ETs, tied to dark state and child abuse and sacrifice. That's what it all goes back to, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want us to see the fake missiles. Battlestar Galactica even stoked fear porn. So did Star Trek. Nobody killed Epstein. Well, they did now. I think he's dead now, but he wasn't killed in his cell. It's a funny T-shirt, bro. It's meant to start conversations. The best secrets are protected. They are, Peter. No doubt about it. Human testing. Ooh, there's another good one. The 1% has some explaining to do. Absolutely. Nuclear weapons are highly protected, but Wikipedia tells us how to make them. Yeah, there you go. Do you really think if they were what they are and somebody that they'd let us know how to make them ourselves? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. No, Epstein's a goner material. I understand where you're coming from. I think he's dead. I think Trump got all he could get from him, and then they gave him a nice, probably gave him a nice lethal injection. What else we got here? There's a lot of people living in underground tunnels. Could very well be. Hello, Leah Black Dragon Shapiro. There's the dumbs option. And you know why they're called dumbs? I know it's deep underground military bunker system or something like that. But they're called dumbs because we're so dumb that we don't ask the questions. And we're so dumb that we don't question the answers. That's why they're called dumbs, ladies and gentlemen. Aliens are demons. Esai, appreciate you being here. Really do appreciate you tuning in. But come on, man, that's intellectually lazy. That's way too easy. Don't fall for the lies. Think, man. Think. What else we got? Because they're rockets carrying little kitties to the extraterrestrial parts of the plane. Again, Brian, why does it have to be extraterrestrial? When we buy the ET lie, we're buying into the dark state cabal. I'm becoming more and more convinced of that. Thank you, Barry. Says we can't beat excellence in research and broadcasting. That's exactly what we're trying to do, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go again. Easy answers. Esau, you're obviously a thinker. You obviously are a guy that asks questions and questions answers. Ask all the questions. Question all the answers. Aliens are not fallen angels. I can guarantee you that. After 20 years as a minister, Bible college degree, 100,000 hours plus of Bible study, I can tell you they're not fallen angels. I can tell you they're not fallen angels. Ooh. Quentin Tarantino just married in Tel Aviv. I don't know if he did or didn't. He was on the Lolita Express, and I don't know about the little foot in his lap, but yeah, Cloverleaf is the movie I was talking about. And this knowledge can lead to more fear. Don't let that happen. Just make yourself aware of the possibility. The fear is at least that what they say is so horrible really isn't. No, it wasn't a Pauly Shore movie, Peter. I'm thinking of a different one. A.G. Barr is part of the deep state crap. I don't know about Barr. I'm not real snuggly with Barr. I'm really not. But hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Jenny might say that they are transporting kids, slaves off-world. I don't buy the off-world part of it because you know what? Call me a jerk. Call me an asshole. Call me a contrarian because I am. I just want some proof. If they're shipping kids off-world, show me some proof and I'll shut my mouth. Until you show me the proof, I will follow Occam's razor. And this says if they're shipping kids off, they're probably shipping them off to some place here. What should we do? Start talking about it, Antonio. Start talking about it. Start asking questions and start questioning answers. That's why. And this is cognitive dissonance. No, it's not. This is confirmation bias in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. The nukes, we're assuming they're real. They're targeted by the enemy. Who's the enemy? Who's the enemy? Look at what's implicit in the statement. Number one, there's nukes. Be really afraid. And you look like a smart guy, and I'm glad you're here. Targeted. Oh, we're all targeted. Be very afraid. And he's not even meaning to do this unless he's a paid troll, which is possible, but I don't know. Nukes. Oh, I'm scared. Targeted. Oh, enemies. Oh. So we put them in Wyoming because nobody lives there. Viking Explorer, how would you feel if your mom lived in Wyoming? There's real people that live in Wyoming. But I guess they don't matter to you. Think about the words that come out of your mouth. Think about the implications. Think about why you say these. I think you say these. You look like a smart guy. You know how to tie a tie. You got a nice suit on. I think you're panicking. I think that your world is being tugged apart at the seams and you're seeing, oh, my demiurge, the way I thought was real isn't. And you're fighting back with knee-jerk reactionism. Listen to the words that come out of your mouth. Listen to the words that come out of your mouth. Nuclear winter ain't got shit on Minnesota. Oh my, that's good shit. That's good shit. Not one real deep state arrest. Really, Ray? You ever hear of, Jeffrey Epstein? You ever hear of little Johnny McCain? Don't tell me there hasn't been one real deep state arrest. That's just stupid. Don't eat yellow snow, ladies and gentlemen. Public service announcement. Just thought I would throw that in. Don't eat yellow snow. To say that it's off-world denies there's super sick humans right here. That's the point. Well stated. Well stated. Well stated. Oh, here's somebody from Twitter. Yeah, and from Ruby Ridge in Waco, Texas, and others. Thanks for watching over there on Twitter. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. You don't get nuclear winter from 2 bombs. So how many does it take? You know what? You're right. You don't get nuclear winter from 2 bombs. You had me at you don't get nuclear winter. It's made up. It's fear porn. But 2 bombs in one little island nation in a couple of days, and you don't get nuclear winter? You're right, because it's a fake. It's a phony. It's a fraud. It's a fake. It's a phony. It's a fraud. What else we got here? What else we got here? What else we got here? I need a picture with a suit. First, you got to buy a suit, Brian. First, you got to buy a suit. Do you think there's really a secret space program? No, I don't think there's really a secret space program. It's a great way to get some clicks. It's a great way to get some subscribers. It's a great way to make some money. No, I don't think there's a secret space program. And in the words of the immortal American philosopher George Carlin, it's a big club and you ain't in it. You ain't in it. Another deep state arrest for you if you're keeping track. If you're keeping track. Do 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 do. Why am I humming the theme from MASH? I don't know. People, I don't care enough about Kobe Bryant to study it. If that's a bad thing, then I guess I'm a bad guy. I don't care. I really don't care. The secret space program is like MK Ultra. Yeah. Don't panic when liars want you to. It's fear-based. Great statement. And we got through. My tinfoil hat theory, Mandela effect, was them coming into movies and changing it with modern technology to test how many people notice. That's actually an interesting theory. One problem, though, Roland Buck. How do they come into my house and change the movie in my drawer? How do they come into my house and change the movie in my drawer? I do believe that most people are good, but I don't know why I got to look at the bottom of your feet. Creeps me out just a little bit, I got to admit. I do believe that people are born good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a rollicking good time. It really has. It's been a great time to ask questions. It's been a great time to question answers. And I'm really, really enjoying the fact that we're starting some real good conversation, some real good interaction. And it's nice to see that people are willing to at least look at things, but I mean, cognitive dissonance is a hard thing. Confirmation bias is a hard thing. And you've got to just learn to question answers, and you got to learn to ask questions. And that's pretty much the moral of the story. Everybody knows should send up our antenna and make us start questioning. Thank you, Brian Williamson. I appreciate you very much. I will do my best to keep it up, Nathan. Somebody says, take the feet off. Fear porn is fake. It's phony. It's fraud. Don't panic. Don't be sheeple. I agree 100% with that. Thank you. I'm just doing my job. Air balloons are satellites. As silly as that sounds, there's a lot of good evidence for that. We did a show about some of the NASA rockets are balloons. Dimitri K., thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. And as Cynthia says, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Keep coming back. We're going down this rabbit hole. We're exposing this. We're pulling the string. We're unraveling the sweater. And we are going to go deep on this. We're going to go wide on this. And we're not going to stop until we get to the bottom of it. That's just the way it is. We do appreciate you. We hope you do keep coming back. And the things you've got to remember are that You don't have original sin. You got the spark of divinity within. It is the controllers of this fear and guilt, blood magic control matrix that want you to think you've got sin, that you need salvation, and you've got to come to their Savior because he's the only one in town. You're divine, you're sovereign, and you're free. You deserve life and life more abundant, and you deserve to live in peace that passes all understanding. We're the last generation of real humans. We're in the world changing business, and cousins, that business is a booming. We can do this, but we've got to get busy. Agreed, Viking Explorer. Thanks for being here. We'll see you again real soon, I hope. Until later on today, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, home of the Unindoctrinated podcast, for Tracy Dyer and all the other great moderators, and for the lovely Cynthia. Jeffrey Daugherty signing off and thanking you for being here, seeking after truth.